How you doing? This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, and I got to address some issues here. First of all, my NFL pick for last week, I was very, very tired when I did the video. I hadn't slept all night because I've had a great deal of trouble sleeping with all the coughing I'm doing. And the morons at Douchegab, when I sent pictures to Open Lines Jerry, 6-week tenure, Justin, and Area 51 drone, said I faked pictures of me sitting in the hospital room in the ER. Well, I don't know how to tell these morons this, but when you're inhaling prednisone because your chest feels like someone's stabbed it with a lance and is stomping on it front to back, all the way up to your shoulder blade on both sides, you're not faking anything. I couldn't breathe. And it's a 20-mile round trip to the emergency room on the bus. And it takes hours. And Kathy used to take me to the emergency room a lot. I've gone there by car, and I've gone there by ambulance with my recurring sinus infection. This toot's infected. They won't pull it because they want to do bone grafting for $425, which I don't have. And one reason I don't have it, I just went through a year of paying off Kathy's gas cards, and I had promised to pay them off for her so she could get a car. And I've been paying $35 some months, $50, and some months as high as $75 in those two cards. One card's down to $185.83 from $400. The other one I'm not certain of, but that will be paid off in January. Excuse me. I spent a lot of time blowing my nose, coughing up stuff, and being in pain. Not to mention all my other pain issues. So the morons at Bellgab, or Douchegab, or Sewergab, whatever I want to call them, they all apply, need to shut the hell up. And another thing, anybody on the internet, any troll can say anything. The latest canard is that I tried to buy somebody's website. For the last year, I've been financially starving to death. I had to take out payday loans when I didn't get paid for 2 months by George Norrie and Premier Radio Network. And of course, that takes money out of the next month, so I'm behind all the time. I wouldn't have any money to buy a website. And I was said to pose as the owner of the George Norrie fan site, which is ridiculous. The only thing I did was call up GoDaddy, where I have an account, and asked who owned the website and why wasn't it working when it was shut down. And then I got told by the owner that he deliberately shut it down, probably to make me look the fool because I had promoted the hell out of it. Even George Norrie knew about it and liked the idea. And I was told by that owner very arrogantly that it was his site and he could do with it what he wanted. And then he claims he made an offer for me to buy the site from him. I received no such offer. I would have had to spare $50. That's what he's claiming on Sewergab to buy it anyway. I don't have $50. There's months where I've eaten meatless spaghetti for a week, and that's all the food I had in the house. So this guy's being ridiculous. But then this is the same guy that started offering me about a year ago $200 and escalated up to $1,000, and then started talking crap about me when he wanted to do an interview with me in Guerneville, which is something like 75 or 90 miles from here. I even told George about it. He said, get the money up front. It went to $1,000. And he was laughing his ass off. And I said, nobody wants to interview me then. Now, that's then. Now, I'm going to be on the End of Days radio on the 15th, the day before my late mother's birthday. So I'll discuss that issue. And there's one other one. My sometimes friend, who badly behaves at times, Area 51 drone. Well, a couple weeks ago, there was an attack in a Washington shopping mall. And the maniac went into Macy's with a shotgun. Now, what amazes me is no security saw him. No one stopped him. Mall security didn't stop him. Macy's security didn't stop me. Calmly walks in with a shotgun and starts blowing away people. Well, one of the people he shot, and thank God she didn't die, was my friend Drone's sister-in-law. And Drone was in the mall with his wife and kids and desperately trying to get them to safety. And I had a feeling about it. I told Open Lines Jerry, I told 6 Week Tenure and Justin, and by the way, they've said lies about him too, that he's passing out information about me, which isn't true. And he's furious about it. He hates Belgab with a passion. Please call Drone, I told Jerry, and find out if he's all right. Because the mall is 60 miles away from him, and I have a feeling he might be in that mall. And I have the email proof. Jerry said, I don't think so. There'd be no reason, I'm paraphrasing this, for him to be in the mall. It's actually closer to me than him. Well, it turns out I got a long email, and I'll quote that on End of Days Radio, from Drone, and a second email. He is taking this very hard, so is his family. Excuse me. That he was there and had to deal with fleeing for his life with his wife and his children and watching a woman bleeding to death in front of him. So that's what I've gotten in emails. I haven't talked to Drone because I didn't want to bother him. He's crying and having a hard time dealing with it. And I don't wish the ill will toward the guy. I just get upset with him from time to time because he didn't behave properly. And finally, there's the issue of my ex-girlfriend. She broke it off with me last month, I think. And the only reason I say I think is for much of that month I was sick with my sinus infection and bronchitis. Very depressed. She broke up with me, and I can't remember a lot of what I did last month. I know one thing, I had to go to court because she tried to have a restraining order against me. And I went to court gasping for air, wheezing, using my 3 inhalers in court, and the bailiff saw me and said, are you all right? And I said, no, I'm sick. And the judge saw me. So we went back and forth with the judge, and Kathy had claimed that I had hit her in the past. Well, in the past, Kathy would start fights with me in the car and elsewhere, and I'd defend myself. And the judge said, is he hitting you now? And she said, no. Is he going to your house? No. Is he having any involvement with you at all? No. He said, well, I'm not going to rule on the past. That's the past. He's not doing anything to you now. I'm not issuing the restraining order. And Kathy tried twice to say she was afraid of me. And I said to the judge, Your Honor, I could barely make it here. I'm not going to go 20 miles on Bart and the bus and Bart and the bus to go to her house and pound on her door. I can barely walk right now or breathe. Excuse me. And the following Friday, I finally went to the emergency room because I was up all night Thursday night. Couldn't get much air in my lungs, couldn't breathe, couldn't sleep, and the pain was killing me. So she didn't get a restraining order, and I said, I'm not angry at her, because she also said I was angry. I said, I'm very sad that it's over. And the one thing that hurt is a judge asked about a romantic involvement. Instead of telling me in my face, she, being like the little cancer crab she was, she had been hiding in the corner of the courtroom. I couldn't see her, for God knows why. And she said that we hadn't been romantically involved in some time, and the love was out of our relationship. Well, that's not what she had told me in person. She would come in, she'd want a hug, I wouldn't feel well, or I'd want a hug, and she'd, I gotta go, I don't have time to hug, I don't have time for this stuff, I don't have time to tell me what you've been doing. So it was very strained. And I still have waves of depression about it. I'm very sad. But I'm going to have to learn to live by myself. I'll pay off her gas cards. I'm paying off other money. And I'm shelling out well over $200 a month in credit card payments and my own payments too. So that's about a quarter of my income. And that's why part of the reason I'm asking for donations. The other account that she has, the Phillips 66, I think there's $400 or $500 owed on that. I'm not sure. But I did do one thing. I upped that to $50 a month. And next month I'm going to up that to $65 so that I can have the Chevron card paid off by January 1st. So when you're shelling out a lot of money when you only get $900 a month, and we're getting a big $2.69 raise next year for cost of living increase, the lowest raise I can ever remember. You don't have a lot of money to go to Alien Con or anywhere else. All right, that's the way it is. I'll discuss some of this on End of Days Radio, but I'm not going to be accused once again of doing something I haven't done. I wouldn't buy someone's website, and anybody with any sense knows at GoDaddy, if you want to buy a website, you make an offer and GoDaddy passes it along to the owner. I made no such offer. And that's the only way you can buy a website through GoDaddy. They act as a go-between between you and the owner of the website. So for the owner of that site, the George Norrie fan page, to say that I made an offer or tried to pose as him is a bald-faced lie. All right. But then it won't be the first time lies have been told about me on Sewergab, is it? This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Have a great day. Be safe out there. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.